this video, we shall be discussing about optimization, life cycle cost, and how are they related to sustainable development. We shall also be discussing how to use EcoNivas envelope optimization tool for making optimized building. Optimization. Creating best possible design using least available alternatives is what we call optimization. Similarly, using least available resources, humans have prolonged their existence and of course comfortable existence for ever increasing comfort demands that we all know. So what exactly is going on here? Let's see what exactly is behind all this. For early humans, effort and the resources was the cost, but they were not really able to quantify it in numbers. And of course, what we call having a cheapest and the best. It is defined as choosing the best element for some set of least cost alternative. So it's all about reducing your cost in number of given alternative, finding out what is the best alternative, which is the least cost. And we can also define optimization by saying this, that an art, process or methodology of making something such as design, system or decision as perfect, as functional and as effective as possible using a least cost alternative. So this is what is optimization is all about. I'll also talk about now how the optimization is inherent to our existence in this universe. Let's see this example wherein there's a rock and there's a roller ball. As soon as you free the roller ball, it will try to come to the least potential position, this position somewhere here. What exactly is going on here? Why it is coming to this level? By sliding itself down from here to here. Of course, this is actually a least potential position. So in nature also, things, phenomena and the elements would like to stay at a least energy alternative. This is how nature optimizes. Similarly, I'll give you another example with respect to food habits. In Africa, you have corn, and in Norway, you have meat as staple diet. And how do people actually converse to using corn in Africa and converse to using meat in Norway? By learning it and by their cultural habits for over thousands of years of living there. They understood that this is mostly available at the least cost, and it also helps them sustain their existence in these locations. Let's talk about another example. This is a cultural habit of a Rajasthani farmer. Similarly, this is how people live in Kashmir. The difference in attire is also an adaptation of the climate and other elements of that particular location, developed and understood over a long period of time. Now, this wisdom of having this pagri and having this kind of attire in Kashmir have percolated to the culture over a long period of observation of our ancestors. So therefore, what is happening is people find that these are the things which are the least cost and they'll give them the best comfort. I mean, this pagri might stop getting people strokes. Similarly, this kind of attire would keep them warm in Kashmir. Let's talk about another example here, coming nearer to our basic objective, wherein we'll be talking about how buildings needs to be seen in this specific minimum life cycle cost idea. In Rajasthan, you use stone. In Kashmir, you use wood. How this particular wisdom came into being? Of course, in Rajasthan, the summers are hotter and the winters are colder. Similarly, in Kashmir, it's always cold. So if I want to transfer or use the phenomena of cold night to make myself comfortable in the day, then the coolth of the night must be stored somewhere so that it can be used in the day. Stone having high heat capacity just do that. Now by doing a lot of advanced simulations, we know that. But this is known to our ancestors also living in Rajasthan. So this becomes a kind of a cultural wisdom carried on over a long period of time. I mean, it becomes a culture. Once they understood that this is something which is going to be best suited for them to exist there in a comfortable environment, they choose to use more of a stone, which is abundantly available in Rajasthan as well. Similarly, wood is abundantly available in Kashmir, and people have started using wood because of its thermal properties, because it insulates you from the cold of outside and the snow, etc. What is happening here is these scientific knowledges, these scientific understanding, they generally come from observation of long period, thousands of years, and then they be percolated into our cultures, and the culture that we have generally define the most sustainable way of looking at and developing things. All this learning that took thousands of years to become knowledge to help us survive better is what becomes a culture, as I just mentioned. And then this may become a best way of living or existing with a comfortable environment within the dwelling that we are all living. Now we are here, wherein we have a huge amount of big computers. So if I say, what if we can do this in 30 minutes, not in thousands of years, using advanced computer simulation? So effectively what I'm saying is thousands of years of learning can be compressed into 30 minutes of data crunching, and then you can actually understand what might be the impact which people might have understood over thousands of years by observation. Let's talk about our basic concept. I was talking about cost of living. I mean, for early human, the cost of living is their effort, is the comfort, etc. Now, in the present scenario, once you make a home, you have a capital cost for making that home. And of course, you have an operational cost by which you will live and then operate the home. Your intent is always to reduce your capital cost as well as you reduce your operational cost. Somehow, this element is not that talked about. The concept of development of this tool is just that, wherein we want to talk about operational cost as well. I'll show you a couple of curves in the next slide, which will give a better understanding of what are we talking about. At the same time, when you're reducing your capital cost and operational cost, you want to increase your comfort and increase your daylight and other elements of sustainable living. So where exactly it is going? It is going here. Let's talk about this specific curve, wherein once you conceptualize a project wherein you have to make a home or a building, you conceptualize it and take this much of time and this much of effort. So area under this curve is actually indicating the effort. Then that concept becomes a design, and that design becomes an element or idea for construction. Please note that all this, the areas are actually telling you the amount of time that is required for doing this and what is the amount of effort. For us modern humans, the effort is basically correlated to the cost and the operational cost. So effort is basically, for us, the effort is life cycle cost. Let me elaborate further. The operation takes this much of cost. So if I put it in a better way, then 20 to 80%, 20 to 80 ratio exists between the capital, which is till this point, and the operational, which is here, end of life. We'll ignore this part because this is a smaller, very small part actually. So see that operational cost is 80% of your entire life cycle of that project. Yet we actually take our decision only on this 20%, which is not the right idea to do. Therefore, the equation on which we need to really work out is this: the total life cycle cost, which is going to be capital cost plus the operational cost. Let's understand it in another graph. If this axis actually shows you the life cycle cost, and these are the set of alternatives. Maybe there are 2,000, 500,000, 100,000 alternatives for making a building the way it is. Then what is the correct way of doing it? Each alternative would have a given cost also. Like, let's talk about in this way, that if the capital cost increases in your home, then of course by and large your operational cost would reduce. I'll give this example in another way. If I'm using a best of the best glass and all the insulation that are there at my disposal, I'll actually spend too much on my capital, and of course because of their thermal properties, because of their solar heat gain coefficient, etc., the operational cost would be very less. But this overdoing might increase my capital cost, and hence the total sum of the life cycle cost might increase. Therefore, I'm interested in actually finding out this point, which is the sum of capital and the operational cost over a long period of time, say 30 years, 40 years, or whatever. So let's talk about alternatives. So there are, maybe 100,000 of alternatives which are here. Each alternative, if I sum this curve and this curve, capital and operational, then we'll find a kind of a U curve here with a minima somewhere here. The life cycle cost of the point which is the minimum is our interest to find out. Now, you can't do these kind of things earlier because you would not have that powerful computers available to you. You didn't have the way we generally model energy consumptions and the operational cost. We would really not able to find out the operational cost without actually making the building physically at the site. But the beauty of today's resources is this, that this operational cost can be found out by energy simulations, and these energy simulations can be done by describing the changes that might occur in the building, giving a set of range of these changes, like this big window, that big window, or whatever, and the impact of thickness of insulation and the impact of SHGC. So you just put all of these things variable. It will automatically generate thousands and thousands of alternatives, and with respect to their operational as well as the capital cost, you'll find out a kind of a curve, U curve. And the optimization tool that we are going to be talking about later in the slide exactly does this, where it finds out the minima which has the minimum life cycle cost. Therefore, once you get to know this within the given constraint and everything, you are actually at the best set of alternative which are having the least life cycle cost. It is exactly the same the way your wall roll down to the deepest cavity, which is the minima energy point. Similarly, the way people have developed the habits over thousands of years and learned that this is the minimum point for their effort and their existence. Similarly, what we are doing is for homemaking or making a building, what is that minimum point of construction and operation? We are exactly evaluating that right now. So let's talk about the envelope optimization tool. I was actually creating a background of this envelope optimization tool, what it does. So I'll talk about features and usability. It's a web portal. In this web portal, you will see that we have wall, we have roof, and in the wall, you are actually defining the type of wall. Of course, you need to define what type of wall you want to actually have and what kind of per cubic meter cost that wall would have. So we are defining the wall, but you are leaving the thickness of insulation as variable, which is correlated to the cost of thickness of the wall itself. So this part is going to be variable, but its cost is going to be added in each alternative, whatever insulation optimization tool is checking. Similarly, the same thing is happening here also. Here, the insulation is variable and the cost is per meter cube. And you are defining the base structure, like RCC slab is the base structure. Here, please note that this is all fixed. This is fixed, this is fixed. In the next slide, I'll show you in the basic information tab here in the optimization tool. I'm talking about energy inflation rate. We are talking about which weather file we are using for simulation. These are basic information which are required for energy modeling. Similarly, we are also saying what kind of operational tariff we would have in energy. Price per kilowatt hour is what we are mentioning here. We are also mentioning for how much life cycle we want to analyze or evaluate this system. Here you will see in the construction detail tab, you have a wall insulation cost is also there for type of insulation. Similarly, you have wall construction cost, as I have mentioned earlier. You have a detailed list of different kind of insulation materials also there, like around 20-30 insulation types are all given here. So you can use any of them. You have a corresponding cost to all of these insulations as well. Similarly, in the beginning, you can also decide for a small home, what kind of window to wall ratio would it have on various sides. So one part of the envelope is windows also. In windows, you would have a double glazing alternative, single glazing alternative, and various triple glazing alternative also. Conditioned area is there. This is also an alternative for us, as I showed you earlier. All these can be actually adjusted and changed. One thing to note is that this entire analysis is an indicative analysis for a typical development, wherein we are not talking about a custom building. We are only talking about a specific size of building. Like this is a skylight. These are various windows, maybe a door here or whatever. So on each side, if this is your north, each side you can control the window to wall ratio in the beginning, and then you can analyze what exactly is the material requirement to operate and build it at the lowest life cycle cost. So once you enter all this information with respective cost, you throw the simulation on the servers, and these servers are going to analyze hundreds and thousands of different options and would give you the minimum life cycle cost alternative. It means that it would give you the alternative in which the sum of capital as well as the operational cost is minimum. One can say that there are hundreds and thousands of variable in making a building, and we say yes, of course there are hundreds and thousands of variable, but it would make the problem too complex. Therefore, what we have done is, to start with, we are only optimizing the envelope part. We are not optimizing the HVAC alternative and all those kind of different elements which are there in building construction. We are only talking about window insulation, wall insulation, roof insulation, solar heat gain coefficient. We are only talking about these 4 or 5 parameters. That's it. In the result pane, once you run this simulation, you will find out that this indicator, this can actually go on this side and as well as on this side, but it sticks to the minimum life cycle cost side for U value. Similarly, for insulation thickness, this is the thickness that with a given cost and the other parameters, this is the minimum thickness that you must use. Similarly, for U value of roof, this is the minimum thickness that you have to use. For roof insulation, this is the one. For window U value, this is where it is coming and settling down. And similarly for SHGC, this might be the area. So you remember in the beginning we are talking about lowest potential of a ball coming down here. These bars, these indicators, are the position of minimum LCC, minimum life cycle cost, for all of them.